Happy January 2nd, JLD here, and welcome to MicroStrategy Today. In this video, we'll be going over Bitcoin's path to prosperity, which of course is MicroStrategy's path to prosperity as well. I have a great Michael Saylor clip. I have some killer tweets from X. I have MicroStrategy being picked as a top 25 stock of 2025. And so much more. Give a comment right below about where you're watching from. We love to know where our community, our audience is watching from around the world. And remember, this video is my opinions only. It's not financial advice. So let's dive right into the first news article today, my friends, which is an MSTR analyst says we have a very big 2025 ahead of us. This is actually a great article where Matt predicts MicroStrategy stock, which has experienced significant declines, is in the process of bottoming. You feel that, I'm sure. I feel that, I know. He expects the stock to stabilize between 270 and 300, so right around where we're at right now. And then he notes the strength in the 270 and 300 range suggests that this could provide buying opportunities for the next couple of weeks, and then predicts a strong recovery in the first quarter of 2025. So this quarter, with momentum building as the year progresses. I actually highlighted this part down here that I want to go over, but of course I will post this entire article in the show notes if you want to go through it yourself. FTX repayments. These are some near-term catalysts that are going to shape Bitcoin in MicroStrategy's performance. Number one is FTX repayments. 16 billion could be returned to Bitcoin and crypto investors over the next 30 to 60 days, which he predicts may inject liquidity into the markets. Maybe not all 16 billion, maybe some people take some off the table, but let's be honest, a lot of that could come right back into Bitcoin, crypto, and hey, MicroStrategy, a lot of people's favorite stock/story of the year / last 4 years. The U.S. debt ceiling, Matt forecasts that the expiration of the U.S. government's debt ceiling on January 1st could create short-term unease. However, he expects markets to recover quickly afterwards. And then number three, the S&P 500 trend reversal. Matt believes that a bullish reversal in the S&P 500 could support Bitcoin and MicroStrategy's recovery as broader market conditions improve. In the FASB implementation and the S&P 500 inclusion. So this is actually kind of two big ones in one. There's the FASB implementation, which we've covered in the past, the fair markets accounting that's going to be implemented, that's going to help out MicroStrategy in a lot of ways that I'll go into detail in future videos as I have in past videos. But that's going to be a big boost for MicroStrategy, as well as the S&P 500 inclusion. I mean, the NASDAQ 100 was a huge score. And if the S&P 500 comes in as well, watch out above, my friends. Matt anticipates that these events scheduled for mid-2025 could boost institutional interest in MicroStrategy and Bitcoin-related assets. Before we move on, I have one call to action for this number one point, which is FTX repayments. If anybody watching this video is included in those FTX repayments, if you're getting some of your money back from FTX, some of that $16 billion is yours, and you intend on investing in MicroStrategy, let us know in the comment section. Let us know your thought process, your thesis as for the reason for that. I think it'd be really interesting to kind of note that. And the comment section, my friends, has been hopping. The last couple of videos have over 400 comments each. I read them all. I love them all. I respond to as many as I can. So keep those comments going. Let us know where you're watching from. We're collecting some great data that we're going to be compiling quite an amazing report of. The next news article is why MicroStrategy is among the best multi-bagger stocks to buy right now. And this is Yahoo Finance. So they're talking about why MicroStrategy is a great buy. And I wanted to go down to the actual MicroStrategy part of it. And they kind of go into some details here. The section that I wanted to highlight for us here today is if Bitcoin gets wider adoption as a store of value or hedge against inflation, and by the way, we both know that that's very likely going to happen. MicroStrategy's early position can result in substantial returns. That's an understatement. In October, the company unveiled its plans to garner $42 billion in fresh capital for Bitcoin purchase over the upcoming 3 years. It holds 252,000 Bitcoin as of September 30th. So this article, even though it was literally published 4 hours ago, they're so far behind because they're not early. They're not doing their research. Yahoo Finance, not doing their research. You are my friends. I am for you. Let's do this together. And the 21 billion fixed income securities over 2025 and 2027 are going to be deployed. But if they were doing their research like we are, that has been already deployed to a high percentage. And in February, hopefully early February, that Q4 earnings report, Michael Saylor is going to blow our socks off with their plans for 2025, which I cannot wait to see. Let's move into some amazing tweets. We got Michael Saylor saying, Happy New Year and best wishes for 2025. This person is out there. And by this person, I mean Michael Saylor is out there relentlessly working for you, working for me. He is busting his butt because he knows that he has found his version of the infinite money glitch. And he is just hammering that glitch over and over again, compounding future returns for us. Maybe not present and immediate returns, although those of us that got in earlier in 2024 are already sitting on great returns. But future returns, my friends, are something that I am very excited about, and I hope you are too. I want to share this as well from MSTR updates. Just take this in for a second. Just 1/1/2023, so 2 years ago, Bitcoin was 16,000. MicroStrategy was $14. I mean, people were leaving this industry for dead. A year later, Bitcoin was 42,000. MicroStrategy was 63. So it had done about, what is that, like a 4+X. And then a year later, so yesterday, Bitcoin's at 94,000 and MicroStrategy is 289. I mean, I love being part of this ride, my friends. I really hope that you're joining me on this as far as like 2 years from now. We can be looking at a post like this, knowing that we've been experiencing all of these massive gains that are being posted on a look back like this. So let's stay the course. Matt is a great individual right here. This person is the guy that was referenced in the first news article that I brought to you here today. Because this is just a problem that is going around on Twitter, on social media, in the news cycles as well. We've addressed it multiple times on this video, but we're always getting new views. I mean, we had a video that got over 16,000 views a couple days ago, so we're always getting new viewers on this channel as well. So I need to keep bringing the news and reality to you, to myself, because this is how we learn and educate, and just remind ourselves, like that A, we're so early, but B, so many people so misunderstand the fundamentals of MicroStrategy because they don't even understand the fundamentals of Bitcoin. So how can they get what MicroStrategy is doing? You do, I do, exciting times. But Matt says, authorized shares are not shares in circulation or the assumed diluted float. Remember that 80% of Saylor's net worth is in MicroStrategy, and he has a vested interest in seeing it pump as hard as possible. So no, they are not market dumping 3 trillion of shares. And again, this is just people who just don't get it. They just see one headline and they just want to spout out off the mouth, and they don't know what they're talking about. And this is the individual. Can someone help me understand if MicroStrategy goes from 330 million shares to 10.3 billion shares? In what world does the price stay the same or go up? They're not going to 10.3 billion. They are authorizing that cap for an amazing future they have planned for everybody, for future ATM issuances, for convertible debt, for the bonds that they're issuing, for the stock splits that both you and I hope are in the future when they hit $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 per share. These are exciting times. These are exciting moves ahead. This is a great tweet by the MicroStrategist. I'm actually planning on tomorrow going in depth into this article that was recently posted by him. I think it was just posted yesterday, actually. But it's a great article. This is an individual. Marty is his name, I believe. He goes into such great depth with such great charts. And we'll be going through a long form of this. But he just talks about how MicroStrategy's fair value indicator is down to 7%, a level not seen since Feb 2024, when everyone thought MicroStrategy was dead after the ETFs were announced. What happened next? It ripped from $43 to $200, a 5+X. So he's just letting everybody know there that, hey, MicroStrategy right now is like that coiled spring. It has all the fundamentals ready to go. Of course, we're relying on the macro environment being positive. A strong Bitcoin is going to equal a strong MicroStrategy. That is just the case. The last tweet I want to share before an epic video that I have for you from Michael Saylor. is right here from Chris. He says, listen, MicroStrategy is built on 3 premiums. And we need to understand this because when you understand this, you start to understand the fundamental foundation of MicroStrategy, why it's so strong, why it's so exciting. Number 1, Bitcoin premium. Number 2, equity premium. And number 3, convertible bond premium. All 3 premiums create and fuel each other. So what do we have? The Bitcoin premium. Then what do we have? The equity premium when he's doing the ATM so he can buy more Bitcoin. The convertible bond that he's getting 0% interest at. There might be a negative interest. They might companies might start paying MicroStrategy in the future to get their bonds. I mean, who knows? We don't know for sure, but that could happen. Then he has this great chart. MicroStrategy is built on 3 premiums. Boom, boom, boom. There's MicroStrategy. That foundation is solid, my friends. Get ready for liftoff. And now I have a great video from Michael Saylor where he talks about the path to prosperity. So, Michael, take it away.
There's a path to prosperity, and the path to prosperity is Bitcoin. You adopt a different capital structure. You recapitalize on BTC instead of USD. And if you start thinking differently, BTC is 60% ARR, 60 vol instead of 0,
Yep.
okay? When you recapitalize on BTC, now let's take that excess cash. If Microsoft takes their excess cash and buys Bitcoin, they add $150 a share and $1 trillion to the market cap. They don't even have to change the dividend,
right,
or the buybacks. You just make $1 trillion and you crank 150 bucks or more into the business because now you're investing in something that beats the cost of capital. Now, there's a little chart you should have in your head. The S&P index is the cost of capital. It's plus 15 for the last 4 years. If you normalize that, then Bitcoin is up 48% over that.
Yeah.
Microsoft stock is up 4%, and bonds are minus 19%. So when you have $100 billion of capital, if you put into Bitcoin, you're getting 10 times the ARR you get from just buying your own stock back while you de-risk, right? The difference over 10 years, choosing to buy your stock back with that cash instead of buying Bitcoin is minus 97% destruction of the capital. Choosing to put that money into the bond is minus 99.7% destruction of the capital. So it's blood curdling. And so you follow that to its conclusion. It's like convert the cash, you make $1 trillion. Convert the dividend, you make another $1 trillion at another $150 a share. Convert the buybacks, you make another $1 trillion, it's another $150 a share. Take all that, borrow money at 4%. Microsoft could borrow money at 3%.
Yeah.
10% loan to value at 3%, invested at 30 to 60%. Make another $1 trillion. And so literally using the balance sheet doubles the value of the company. Instead of being valued 95% on expectations, you could get it down to 50% on expectations. And the other 50% is tangible assets appreciating, in the worst case, 20% a year, right? So that's the logic of a Bitcoin strategy. And of course, it's not a 2% insurance policy.
No.
It's a policy to increase the growth rate of the company by 50 to 100%. And decrease the risk by a factor of 10.
Well, there you have it, my friends. Another MicroStrategy today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did get value from this, I would love a like. Those really mean a lot. I see all of them, so thank you for that. We're getting close to our first 1,000 like video. So if you could help out with that and be a part of our first 1,000 like video, that'd be awesome. Our subscribers are getting close to 10,000. We're well over 7,000 subscribers. I would love to get to that 10,000 plus subscriber mark so we can just keep this momentum going. So if you're not currently subscribed, please do. And remember, comment below about where you're watching from because I read all the comments. I'm compiling that list. That's going to be a great future article and a great compilation of where MicroStrategy investors are from. So let us know where you're coming from. And just to kind of keep things fun and simple, my friends, if you're enjoying this MicroStrategy stuff, check out the complete history of MicroStrategy. It's a 1 hour and 40-minute presentation that took me weeks to compile. It should be popping up over on this side of the screen pretty shortly here. The subscribe button will be right here. And remember, This is just my opinion. This is not financial advice. And as Michael Saylor says, there is no second best.